Hey guys, and welcome to another Factorio Friday PAX discussion, number 232. And unfortunately, Scarhoof is not with us again today. He, I think, just got back from vacation today, but very late. So hopefully next week he should be joining us again. But today we're going over PAX East, I believe it is, bugs and graphs. So this one is fairly short. It's been extremely cold there the last few weeks. It's one of those weeks when we can't think of anything to write about, so we will try to write some small parts. The struggle for stable. Most of us are working on fixing bugs and small issues on our backlog, but some of us are already working on 0.17, which is great news. Tugas is doing major changes to the map generator in order to fix the many small issues it still has, which is really great news. There's been, I think, quite a few complaints about the map generator, myself included in those complaints, as well as many people I know. So I'm glad they're working on that. HansiQ and Sindri are working on the OpenGL 3.3 graphics backend replacement, along with Posila, who started working on the DirectX 11 backend. Waybags, who I've never even heard of them actually, is working on the new font rendering, and Oxide is starting implementing our first GUI GUI from the rewrite, a new technology GUI that, among other small things, has a queue, which is super awesome. So that's really cool news. You can queue stuff up, so it's kind of like the couple mods there were that allowed you to do that, but it's going to be in vanilla. Crash reports per version. We made a quick graph from the reports gathered by the crash log uploader. So we can see here 16.25 or 4.25, 0.26, and 0.27. The reports per day. This is ridiculous. How many there are? Almost 500 here. And then it starts to go down, and lastly on 1627, way less, which is definitely nice. So they're definitely getting close here, you can see. Now, big news, Factorio is going to PAX East by Twinson. We have confirmation from PAX that we will have a booth there. Give you the number. The event is in Boston between the 5th to 8th of April. We purchased our plane tickets and reserved our combinations. The tickets for the general public during some of the days seem to be sold out already. So if you want to come check us out, you should buy a ticket soon, which I can confirm. I checked, and it looks, I think Friday and Saturday are sold out, and Sunday maybe too. I know Thursday's not, and I think one of the days was like partially sold out. So if you're planning to go, definitely grab your tickets if you haven't already. We'll be there mainly to show the game to new players, see how new players react to the game, hang out with fans and other developers. The devs who will be there are HansiQ, Clonin, Arseeding, Twinson, and V. Arseeding and I, being Twinson, will also be visiting Los Angeles afterwards. So if you are there, if there are some hardcore Factorio fans around, we can probably go for dinner and even have a small meetup. HansiQ will be staying in New York City for 7 days after the convention. So if you're around there, you can arrange a meetup with him. We even played a small mini game of trying to efficiently fit all the furniture in our booth space, and Clonin made an isometric representation of what it would look like. So this is awesome. This is like classic Factorio players. Got to optimize the layout. So they have like their table here. Is this cabinet? I think this says cabinet. These look like maybe some chairs, a roll-up thing, some more roll-ups here, a big sofa too. You can see what Clone has done. It looks like maybe a TV or something here. That's pretty awesome how they're going to fit all that in their booth. Definitely some min-maxing to be done. So anyway, yeah, PAX East, I had considered going. Had I known if they were going to be there sooner, I would have tried to get tickets, but like the main days I would want to be there are sold out, and it's a bit of a pain. I am not a fan of traveling at all, so I decided not to go for this one. Hopefully in the future they go to other events in the US, maybe as they start expanding out, and I would definitely like to go to those and meet any of you guys that are there and see the devs in person. I really wish I could have gone, because I'd love to meet all of these guys in person. I've talked to all of them fairly extensively, like on Discord and such, but it would be really nice to meet them in person. Hopefully another time though. But if you are there, then awesome. I hope you guys get to see them and have a good time. Edge case bugs. In the last 2 weeks, thanks to the auto crash reporting system, and this is by Arseeding, I fixed so many crash bugs that we haven't gotten a single report about. One particularly interesting crash that I fixed a few minutes before writing this was related to mod settings and multiplayer, and took me a few minutes of staring at the crash log to understand what was happening. When you join a multiplayer game, the server saves the map and starts uploading it to you. In the meantime, it keeps ticking along, letting the rest of the connected players keep playing. Anything the other players do is queued and sent to you to be processed once you finish downloading the map. When a player changes a mod setting runtime, it packs and sends that change just like any other action, except the logic to load that data was never expecting it to happen while someone was still downloading a map multiplayer. So essentially the result was that while you're downloading the map, the game loads the mod setting change data into memory and says, I don't know what this mod setting is, I'll load it and throw it away. This logic is meant to handle loading save files when you remove a mod. Once the game finishes loading, it applies all the pending actions to catch up with other players as it should, except when the mod setting change is applied, it's now applying an empty setting and the game crashes. So I'm glad they fixed that. The fix was simple, but series of steps and timing required to reproduce a crash meant anyone trying to do so most likely would never be able to. Factorio has a handful of these special rules about what you can and can't do at specific parts in the simulation. So you can't expect game prototypes to be set up when loading any network actions. You can't delete items while game is loading, delete entities while game is loading, can't use random generator while the game is loading, you can't enable, disable, and update entity during entity setup while running setup as a result of loading map. The list gets more and more specific as we keep going. It just goes to show that Factorio internals are very complex and bugs can get hidden for years, which is really interesting. And I mean, this I think shows the benefit of the automatic crash report uploader. Is I wasn't talking to our seating directly. I think it was another dev mentioned it, or someone else who talked to our seating, that our seating had already fixed an insane amount of bugs. Maybe it was in the last Friday FAX. An insane amount of bugs just from this automatic uploader crashes that no one actually reported. So this is really good because they're finding bugs like this, that went entirely unnoticed and could have continued to go entirely unnoticed for the most part, except for the poor people who did suffer from them. So it's cool they're getting this fixed. And then IME support for Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. In update 1626 that dropped on Monday, we included partial Windows support developed by a Chinese fan. I'm not going to even try to read that because I can't read. Kindly implement it for us. It turned out to be quite a challenge for us Westerners who have never experienced typing in a language that has more characters than there are keys on the keyboard. The feature was requested for a long time by many players as they couldn't conveniently chat or name things in the game in their native language. So this is cool. They've added more language support, which is always good. And that's pretty much it, guys. So still, I think pretty interesting. It's really cool to see this graph. It's awesome that they are going to PAX East. And again, if you do get to go, then that's awesome. And maybe in the future they'll go to other events, the other PAX events or something like that. They'll go there and should be pretty cool. But also Zeus 17 development is also really good news, and we'll see how things progress. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Leave your thoughts down below, and until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.